Hello everyone, this is me Kapil Sikka. I welcome you all to Orient IAS online learning platform. So friends, as you all know, today we are here for a very important session, that is art and science of essay writing. And over here we'll be discussing important points of writing an essay, important concepts of writing a good essay. And over here we'll also be discussing how can we score exceptional marks in essays. So essay, as you all know, is very important paper for the mains examination. In fact, this is very well said that essay decides your destiny. Okay, so essay basically will decide whether you are getting an interview call, essay will decide whether you are getting into final selection, essay will also decide what kind of rank you will be getting. Depending upon the permutation and combination of this paper, and given the amount of you can say weightages it has in your examination is very vast, and given the amount of weightage it is having, the kind of efforts you need to put is very straightforward. That means, let us say in case of ethics, let us say in case of GS, for 250 marks you have to go through many different topics, you have to go through many diverse topics, diverse components, whereas in essay you do not have to go extra mile, you just have to collate, you just have to accumulate and basically present in a very well structured manner whatever you have already learned in the process. So essay is nothing but condensing the process you have been through, essay is nothing but synthesizing the information you are having, essay is nothing but a good skill writing, a good skills required to write and to score best marks in the examination. So we must have seen so many essays in the past. Most probably, when I ask my students, "Ki, have you ever written an essay?" So they always reply, "Yes, sir. In class 10th, we used to write an essay." So this essay is entirely different from class 10th essay, because over there will not be writing on cow, will not be writing on Mera Bharat Mahan, will not be writing on certain topics. Though the theme will be same, the structure I would say will be same, but over here essay is much more. UPSC is expecting much more as you used to write in your examinations. Okay, so this is what we'll be discussing in this class, and this is why this class is very much important. So as you know about me, I have been teaching in Orient IAS since past many months, past many years, sorry, and I have a experience of teaching more than 7 to 8 years. I have an experience of teaching in UPSC field, and I usually take Indian polity, I take political science, I take Indian economy, I take essay, internal security, and various other current affairs topics. In this past 6 7 years, I have mentored more than 5,000 students, and if you see the history at Orient IAS, we have successfully produced good so many toppers in the examination process. So before starting this paper, I would like to ask you people: do you really know what is an essay? Are you aware about what essay is all about? Do you know what UPSC wants you when it says essay? So look, this is what we need to understand: a cause of writing an essay. First, we need to understand why UPSC is so hell-bent in asking us to write an essay, and that too, it is just giving marks. You can say it is just giving you 250 extra marks. Okay? Without doing much labor, you will be able to get 250 marks. You'll be able to get some 125 marks. So why UPSC wants you to write an essay? This is one thing. So for that scenario, we should know the objective of essay writing. For that purpose, we should be aware about what is an essay. So if you will see, as the UPSC says, or as many successful toppers says, that essay is nothing but organized collection of ideas. Obviously, this is what is the meaning of essay. Essay means a write up on a given topic. Essay means your thoughts, or you can say accumulation of ideas on a given topic, but those ideas should not be unorganized. They have to be very much organized. So first thing you need to keep in your mind is it is a organized collection of ideas. Apart from that, this organization can be based upon your real experience, it can be based upon your imaginary ideas. Let us say, if you do not know, when I'll talk about anecdotes in the introduction section in the another class. So we will see if you know the reality. Let us say topic is on women. Okay, so you are well aware about the plight of women in our society, the plight of women in our family. So let us say if a topic is on a woman, you will be able to reproduce a real experience. Even if you do not know, you are not aware of a real experience, you have a slight idea of what is going on with the woman in the society. So you will be able to write in an imaginary form, you will be able to write in a third person format. Then it is nothing but presentation of your outlook on the given topic. So UPSC just want to see by giving you essay what kind of outlook you have given the problems of the society, because you are over there to serve the people, you are over there to solve the problems of the society, you are over there for a good governance. So UPSC just wants to see whether you have that kind of knack of understanding the topics, whether you have that kind of outlook. When I say something misgovernance is going on, so what kind of outlook you have? Okay, so you, whether you are a corrupt soul, whether you are you can say governance oriented soul, whether you are a person who basically actually or who actually wants to do governance in a very good manner. So this is what the presentation of your outlook means. This is clear. So this is nothing but this is an essay. So you don't need to go anywhere. You just need to understand three important points: that essay is an organized collection of ideas given real experience and imaginary ideas, and presentation of the outlook of the writer. Over here, writer is you. Now I have already discussed this scenario. Why essay paper? As you all know, why essay paper has been incorporated in your examination. UPSC wants to analyze you in a subjective manner, because objectivity will, because over there you are going to you are going to have, you can say you are going to meet people across the state, across the district. You are going to have various kinds of issues and concerns from the people. So that is why UPSC wants to see what kind of subjective analysis you have, or on the given point of topic, what kind of analysis you can provide to the examiner or to the UPSC. Apart from this, you should be able to respond critically and personally to a problem. When I say respond critically means, it doesn't mean direct criticism. It means a balanced viewpoint. That means, let us say social media is inherently a selfish medium. This topic was asked in 2017. So is it inherently a selfish medium? Many say yes, many say no. So this is what responding critically, that you have to present both sides of the coin, and then you have to come up to a conclusion. Okay, so your conclusion should not be based upon any biasness. So essay is basically where you are able to respond critically and in a personal manner. When I say personal, doesn't mean emotional. You don't have to be emotional with the topic. Let us say you are a feminist personality, but that doesn't mean you will only write about the feminism. Let us say you are anti-feminist. That does not mean you will only respond in a anti-feminist pattern. So this is what, when I say personally means that you are in place of that person who has been, who is the victim of the scenario. So this is what, when we say personally, that means you should have some kind of experience, because you are from society only. You are also living in this world. You also have neighbors, you also have family, you have everything around, you have government, you have governance, everything is around. So basically you should be able to respond personally to the problem as well. And it is again, when I say UPSC gives you so much of options. Okay, it never binds you to write only 2 or 3 essays. It gives you a plethora of 8 essays, and you have to select 2. So basically UPSC does not want to bind you to a certain topic. Let us say philosophy, let us say polity, let us say governance, geography. UPSC wants to know whether you have the acumen of selecting the right kind of information. You have been into this process of learning since long. Despite of this process, are you able to synthesize the best out of this? This is what UPSC wants to see. And that too with the support of an argument. Argument means right kind of facts and figures should be provided to support your argument. So that means right kind of information with right kind of arguments, and these arguments and information should be very much in structured and impressive way. Structuring of an essay is the key point for attaining marks, for obtaining marks, and again impressive way will automatically come when you will write in a structured manner. So how to write in structured manner, how to write in impressive way will be our next few classes of discussion. Then UPSC's expectation from an essay. So UPSC expectation, you can see it is neither basically mere factual essay or mere informative essay. That means your essay should be a blend. Blend of what? It should be blend of facts It should be blend of figures if possible. That means numbers if possible. Do not cram numbers for it. If you are able to, or let us say something which is very important. Let us say India has highest number of malnourished children. Okay, so that you can put, but that doesn't mean you will cram every data that India's GDP is okay. GDP is something important. You will not cram every data that industrial index is this. You will not don't have to put this data that core sector is not working, or this is the percentage of contribution of core sector. So basically, it should be blend of facts. It should be blend of figures. It should be blend of information, and all these things will go into vain if you will not put an analysis. So balanced analysis is a need of the hour while writing UPSC essay. Okay, so it must not be the need of the hour when you are writing previous. You are writing in schools, you are writing in colleges, so that was entirely different. Over here, analysis is the core aspect. You have to analyze the concepts. Okay, so you have to analyze whatever you have presented. Moreover, UPSC does not expect you to write opinionated one. Okay, many of the students have habit of giving opinions. Look, I directly say, I bluntly say, you are no one to give your opinion. Okay, you don't know anything. The people who are correcting your scripts, the people who are setting the paper are way too experienced than you. Okay, so your opinions are not solicited. Okay, so this is what you need to keep in mind. If you are writing highly opinionated essay, opinionated means a biased essay, UPSC is not going to accept it. Then another thing you will see, it has to be a balanced presentation of ideas, as I've already given. Balanced presentation based upon the facts and reasoning. So facts should be there, reason should be there. Whatever argument you are providing, you should have a reason for that, and reason should be sound. Reason should be backed by proper research. It should be backed by proper information. Okay, it should not be a kind of WhatsApp information or something like this. Then comes, obviously, when these 2 points will be followed, when you will follow point number 1 and when you will go with point number 2, automatically what you will get is point number 3. That is your essay will be innovative, it will be creative, it will be novelty, it will have a novel approach. So innovative writing, creative writing and novelty is basically very much important when writing an essay. So UPSC expects innovativeness, it expects creativity and novelty. Now you will ask, sir, what is this innovativeness, what is creativity, what is novelty? This is what we are here for. That in next few classes, we will be, almost all the classes, we will be looking at how to write an innovative essay. How to be different from the herd writing from old Rajendra Nagar. How to be different from herd writing from various coaching classes. How we can be different from other people. How there can be, you can say there can be some kind of extra impact, or you can say something different impact on the examiner who is examining our sheet, who is basically correcting our script. So this will be discussing. Then comes syllabus. If I'll ask you, hands on your heart, tell me, do you know the syllabus of paper? Are you aware about what UPSC is asking? Okay, so probably no. 90% of my respondents, I have put this question to 90 of almost all the students I have come across or to whom I have taught essay, and 90% of them have always replied, no sir, what is the syllabus of essay? We haven't seen. Let me tell you one thing. UPSC, the most important concept or component of UPSC is knowing the syllabus. If you know the syllabus well, whether it is GS1, whether it is 2, 3, 4, whether it is your optional, if you are well acquainted with the syllabus, if you know the syllabus in totality, trust me, you will not be requiring any current affairs classes. You will not be requiring the answer to this question, what to read in newspaper. Because if you know the syllabus from head to toe, point to point, you will be able to figure out the important components of your preparation. You will be able to figure out what not to study. Look, I always say this preparation is all about what not to be done. Because you have plenty of notes, coaching, classes available. Everyone is claiming with the help of photographs, with the help of ranks, that we are the best, our notes are best, this is best, that is best. But ultimately you will be able to figure out what is not to be done if you are well versed with the syllabus of the paper. So starting from today, If you have already done it, so that is good. If you haven't, so what you need to do is take the printout of the syllabus, or make that syllabus the screensaver of your laptop, or you can paste it on your desk, on your table where you are studying, where you are sitting almost 24/7. So over there you can paste that, and whenever you are reading something, or at least daily, make a habit that at least once in a day you have to look at the syllabus of the exam. So what exactly is the syllabus of essay? Let us see. UPSC does not mention any kind of syllabus. It never says essay has to be political, social, philosophical in nature. It just writes 2 lines. Now 2 lines can be further deciphered. So you can say, number one thing, you can see UPSC says, sorry, candidates will be expected to keep closely to the subject of the essay. Okay, you have to be as close as you can. Okay, so this is what they say. Okay, you are expected to be closely to the subject of essay. So when I say closely to the subject of essay, we can always say deconstruct the topic in right manner. If the topic is about social media, stick to social media. Do not write history of computers. Do not write history of internet. Student have habit of writing history of something. Okay, so let us say they have come across artificial intelligence. Okay, so topic is on artificial intelligence. What they'll be writing? They will be writing first. They'll be writing 2-3 pages. They'll be exhausting 2-3-4 pages on history of internet, history of computers. That is not required. So you have to deconstruct the topic in right manner, and then how? By adding appropriate arguments. So obviously, when you have right kind of knowledge, when you are in a state of mind to understand the concepts, so automatically you will be able to write appropriate arguments. Line number 2, UPSC says to arrange your ideas in orderly fashion. So this I always say, that means in orderly fashion, whatever you are writing, there should be some order. There should be some kind of order of understanding. Okay, it should not be like this. First you are discussing, okay, the current situation, then you are giving a conclusion, then you are giving the problems, then you are giving the solutions, and then you are introducing the topic, then you are giving the definition of the topic. After discussing whole essay, that means after doing whole Mahabharat, at the end of the essay, or you can say the second penultimate paragraph, last paragraph, you are writing social media is definition of social media. It is a kind of social media is a kind of media which is digital in nature, through which people are interconnected. Okay, this you are writing at 900 word. That will not make any sense. Okay, so that is just wasting your time, energy, and attempt. Well structured essay. When they say orderly fashion, we can again decode it into well structured essay, well articulated essay, and signed posted in nature. Where well articulated means where articulation is up to the mark, proper examples are there, and signed posted means that every paragraph has a flow. There is no break in the flow of paragraphs. That means when you are switching from one paragraph to second paragraph, there is some kind of interlinkage, or there is some kind of coherence. This is called signposted. So signposted means where the succeeding paragraph has some kind of relation from preceding paragraph. They both should not look like that. They both are written in the different manner. That means that they are pole apart from each other. So this is what you need to understand. Then comes the third line of the syllabus is to write concisely. Okay, so students have habit of writing too much upon the one aspect. Okay, so essay is about writing something about everything. So you need to put as much as you can in an essay. So it is about something about everything. So you need to incorporate everything. You need to incorporate everything in the paper. Okay, all the aspects in the paper, all the dimensions in the paper. Essay has to be multidimensional in nature. Then no beating around the bush. When I say write concisely, that means crisp history, crisp problems, crisp solution, final conclusion, visionary statement. No beating around the bush. Try to write essay in small paragraphs. 2 to 3 paragraphs per page is more than enough. The smaller the paragraphs will be, the better examiner will be able to read it. Why? Because he doesn't have time over there. He will not read in between the lines if you are writing one paragraph, 1 page. So he'll not be able to contemplate the important parts. Moreover, at many point of time, he's running short of time. So in that scenario, he'll just flip through your pages and he will see, okay, this guy, this person, this candidate has mentioned every important component. Okay, so he has tried his best to write a multidimensional essay. Then try to support the arguments by apt examples. Look, I always say the only you can say the only thing available between you and the examiner is your note sheet, is your exam sheet, right, in which you have written the essay. So basically, if that essay is not well written, examiner will not be able to understand your personality. Okay, let us say if he gets confused in some of your argument, he's not going to call you, he's not going to ask you, look dude, I'm stuck over here, I'm not able to understand what you are trying to mention, what you are trying to write. So you'll say, okay, even I do not remember what I have written, because once you are out of the exam center, you completely forgets what you have written in the paper. Okay? So even if he calls up, you'll not be able to reply him. So that is why I always say, always support by apt examples. So apt example is very much important. So whenever you are giving an argument, try to support it by a proper example. An example can be from current oriented format. So this will help you in two things. This will help you in two various dimensions. One will be your word limit will be properly utilized. You will not run short of words. Okay, many students face this problem that after writing 700 words, they have nothing to write and then they start repeating the things, which is again detrimental, suicidal. But over here, your word limit problem will be solved, and apart from that, examiner will also get some current orientation out of your essay. So this is what I say, writing a innovative essay, writing something different which others are not writing. Then credit will be given for exact expression, effective and exact expression. So that means whatever you're trying to express, you should be able to tell it to the examiner. Look, communication is when the expression which you are trying to make is well received by other. Only then we say, yes, we have communicated. Okay, you have expressed yourself, I am not able to understand. You are speaking Telugu, I do not understand Telugu, yet we are saying we are communicating. This can never happen. So this is what UPSC is saying, that effective and exact expression is the need of the hour, that you need to take care of, and this can be done by language skills. When I say language skills, many students face this problem ki sir, is English very necessary? I am bit weak in English, will I be able to write an essay? Look, over here I can understand you're writing a paper. English is a necessary component, but that doesn't mean you have to be thorough. Okay, you don't have to write like thorough. You just have to express whatever comes your mind. You just have to express your thoughts and ideas. That's it. Okay, if you are doing in a very layman kind of vocabulary, layman kind of lexicon is being used, that is more than enough, sufficient enough. Then do not. You should focus upon spellings. No shorthands to be used, like this govt dot. Okay, these kinds of acronyms can be used. Established standards can be used, but not shorthands. Okay. Then generic vocabulary. Vocabulary should be very generic, because people who are correcting your scripts are not from Harvard. They are from various central universities of India. Okay, so there might be a faculty who is very good at English, but there might be a faculty who also have the same kind of English which we are writing into. Okay, North Indians usually have this problem. So ultimately, in that scenario, generic vocabulary will help you in writing or will help you in expressing your thoughts to the examiner. Then diagrams and flowchart is something I do not recommend. I personally believe UPSC is giving you ample time to write a paper. Okay, it is giving you 1.5 hours to write just 1,000 words, another 1.5 hours to write another 1,000 words, 1,100 words, and flowcharts I personally believe are escapist. They are basically escapist routes of writing the essay, of writing anything. So basically in GS, it is very helpful, because in GS what happens, you are writing on different tangents. One answer, or in one answer you must be writing in different tangents. Plus you do not have time, you are running short of time. In essay you have ample of time. Even there also, if you are using flowcharts, things might go into way. So, but effectively or efficient, or I would say I don't have a proper, you can say, data where people who have written with flowcharts have failed, or people who have written with flowcharts have successfully cleared the examination. But I always believe, given my experience with the examination in past 15 years, I personally believe flowcharts should be minimized. Okay, so not too much emphasis on flowcharts will not serve the purpose. Then again, diagrams, if diagrams are well oriented, diagrams are properly labeled, and these are standard diagrams. People draw diagram and they do not label it. So labeling of diagram is very much important, because only then examiner will be able to understand what you are trying to convey. So standard formats, let us say any diagram, any flowchart you have lifted from some famous reports like World Bank, IMF reports are there from, or you can say your second ARC report. From over there you have taken up some kind of flowchart. You can always use it without fail. Then comes importance of essay paper. One thing is, it can be divided into two components. One is tangible importance. Okay, a tangible importance is something which can be felt, which can be seen. So if you will see, in case of tangible importance, no extra studies are required. This is the best thing. You don't need to go with extra studies, extra books. Students keep calling me and they ask, sir, what book to read? In market there is some 50 essays, 50 shades of essays, bestseller in the market. Sir, what can we do? What should we do? Should we buy that book? I'll suggest, yes, you can buy that book. Okay. But what will happen? Is UPSC going to repeat the process? Is UPSC going to repeat the topic? No. Then what that book is serving you? Another thing is, book is half baked in nature. It will give you a full-fledged 1,000 words answer. Okay. It will never make you understand what exactly is the process. It will never make you understand how that essay was written, because those kinds of essays are written in, you can say, in an isolated manner, in a you can say non-pressurized manner. Okay? People were writing when they were at home. They had ample of time. So you will feel those essays are exceptionally written. Just like Meera Nair is directing a movie with several takes. Just like Arundhati Roy has completed one novel in 5 years. Okay, over here you don't have time. So you have to write essay in the given environment. And looking at various kinds of essays, at different essays will not serve the purpose. Better, I would always say, try to write your own essay, because there is one thing, essay is all about practice. I always ask students, ki, how many one-day internationals and test matches have you watched? So those who are cricket lovers. So most probably you will see you have watched more ODIs than Sachin has watched. Probably Sachin wouldn't have watched these many ODIs which you have watched, these many test matches which you are watching. Yet Sachin is better player. Sachin is god of cricket and you are not. Why? Because it is all about practice. Sachin has taken up that pressure on field. He has done net practice. He has played so many matches. The matches which you are watching, Sachin was playing. So this is the difference. So essay, if a person wants to be a perfection, you want to get a perfection, or he wants to be a perfectionist in essay, you need to write it. Writing is the soul of scoring highest marks in essay. So this you just need to write down anywhere and everywhere. Writing is the soul. Okay, it is the soul of scoring. Okay, it is the only need. It is the most important component of scoring 145, 150 marks in essay. Okay, there must be many students who says, "Ki I never wrote an essay before examination, yet I got 150." Yeah, he was lucky enough. That was his good day. उसकी कुंडली में था IAS बनना, बन गया. आपकी में नहीं है. You have to work hard. Okay, आपकी में भी है. Don't worry. So this is what I mean, that no books are required, no extra studies are required. No extra syllabus to deal with. This is the tangible importance. You don't have to go extra mile. Students keep asking essay के लिए क्या पढ़ना? Nothing. Whatever you are reading in your GS paper, whatever you are reading in your optional, that is why I always say choose that optional which will help you in writing essays well. So I always recommend students, whenever you are choosing an optional, do choose that optional which helps you in writing the essays well. If you haven't chosen that optional, that doesn't matter. No need to change the optional. But idea is just to make extra efforts. You need to do something extra as compared to those students who have geography, PSIR, sociology as an optional. Strategic efforts can ensure more than average marks. I am saying hard work is not required. I am saying strategic efforts are required. Difference is, with proper strategy and proper practice, you will be able to score 145 marks. Whereas with so much of hard work, so much of practice, in ethics paper, trust me, you will not be able to score more than 125 marks, and that too in a liberalized marking era. Okay, it happens once in 4 years. It is just like once in 4 years. That's highest marks in ethics is 130. Otherwise, you will see the average marks in ethics is 15. In that year also, essay has 145. Okay, so you can see in odd years also essay has 135. In even years also essay has 145. So there is not much difference. So only thing is strategy has to be well determined. So well determined strategy will give you MEMM. That means I always say minimum efforts, maximum marks. So this is what is the idea of essay writing. Just with help of minimum efforts, you will be able to write. You will be able to score maximum marks. As I've already discussed when I was starting this video, that deciding interview call is most important component. Then deciding rank of the candidate is most tangible component. Now let us move towards the intangible component of writing an essay. Helps you in developing critical skill. Okay, so basically, I say if you are writing an essay a week, you are basically writing 4 GS answers, at least 4 GS answers in that week. So essay writing gives you this extra mile importance. Okay, so it helps you in developing critical skills, it helps you in developing analytical skills, it helps you in synthesizing the available information you have. Let us say you have plenty of information, your mind is full of information, you are studying since past 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, whatever is the time duration. So basically it gives you a synthesizing skill. So you are able to grasp best out of your information. You are able to write best out of your available information. Then improves evaluating skills. When you will be writing essay every week, you will be able to self-evaluate yourself. You will be able to understand where do you stand, kitne pani mein ho. This will be a clear-cut strategy. Improves writing skills, no doubt. When you are writing 1000 words essay, obviously you are improvising your 250 words GS answer. So writing essay is very important. So as I'm all again repeating, writing 1000 essays is basically writing 250 into 4 answers. Then selection of the essay is very important. Okay, so this was about essay. Now let us move to the reality, that is what essay to select. So there are number of essays over there. Students comes with these kinds of questions. There was a philosophical essay in the same section. There was a geographical essay in the same section. There was a political essay. I confused which is to be taken up because everyone says choose that essay in which no one is writing. Okay, if everyone is writing governance essay, everyone is writing women based essay, I will not write it. Why? Because there is a myth in the market that choose that essay which no one is writing down. Okay, so this is a myth. Keep it as a myth, not to be implemented in the paper, because UPSC does not maintain any data. It does not maintain any factual sheet or any data sheet that the person, sorry, it does not maintain any kind of data sheet where it can say or where it can evaluate based upon the number of students writing the topic. Okay, it never segregates the copies of the students writing on women, and then copies of the student writing on geography, and then copies of the student writing on philosophy, and the copy of student writing very different essay. Okay, so UPSC doesn't go like this. Okay, these people have written on women, give them average marks. Okay, they have tried very hard, give them some extra marks. Oh, this gentleman has written exclusive essay which no one has tried to write down, so give him extraordinary marks despite of he has not written anything. This will not happen. So this is a myth that if everyone is choosing that essay, I will not choose that. Look, play upon your strength. Do not play upon others' strength, or do not play upon others' weakness. Okay, so this exam is all about playing on your own strength, and writing that essay which is your strength will help you to gain marks. I have seen students. This was my example in 2008. One of my friend, he wrote an essay on philosophical topic. At that year, it was Gandhi, I guess. I wrote on, because I was from Pol Science, I wrote on governance topic. That was media basically. So when I came out of the examination, this was my first mains and this was my first attempt. When I came out of the examination hall, he asked me on what topic you have written. So I told him I wrote on media because I was very much comfortable with writing on media. Then he was like, "Oh my God, everyone must be writing on media. You have also written on media. It will not make any sense. UPSC will not award you marks." I asked how and why. So he said, because UPSC wants exclusivity. So I just countered him and I asked, exclusivity should be in writing. So he said, no, okay, that is in writing, but you should choose some extraordinary topic as well. And ultimately, what happened when the final mains mark sheet came out? At that point of time, we used to have one essay of 200 marks. So I secured 138 marks and he secured 75 marks, despite of writing something which was very extraordinary. Okay, so UPSC does not wants you to write extraordinary topic in a below ordinary manner. They want you to write ordinary topic in an extraordinary manner. So only thing you need to produce over there is extraordinary topic. So don't go with this myth that everyone is selecting this essay. I will not select. This is a sheer mistake. Then comprehension of the demand of the topic. So always choose the essay depending upon the demand. Are you able to understand what UPSC is trying to ask? There was a question a few years back that myth, sorry, the concept of new woman is a myth, or the idea of new woman is a myth in Indian society or in general. Up students, they jumped because they saw topic called women. Okay, we can write extraordinary topic. We can write in an extraordinary manner. We have comprehended it very well. We know what to write. We know what not to write. But they miss this concept of new woman. Who is a new woman? So basically, they could not in the introduction of essay, they could not identify the difference between the woman and the new woman, and ultimately they end up writing a very generic essay on women. So they just discuss the problem of women, where woman is doing good, where she is not doing good, where what can be done, what not to be done, what is being done. So comprehension of demand of the topic is very important. If you are able to comprehend it in a right manner, you will be able to sail through. Then deconstruction of the topic in various dimensions. You need to deconstruct. As I've already told, as I always say, that over here topic is new woman. Okay, so you should be able to deconstruct who is new woman according to you. Who exactly is new woman? Substantiation of various dimensions. Then, in this context, let us, in case of social media, is inherently a selfish medium. So over here, what you are going to do, you need to write all the possible dimensions of social media. Okay, so pros of social media, cons of social media, evolution of social media, benefits of social media, problems with social media, problem of fake news. This is called substantiation. You have this, you can choose this. Drawing coherence. Obviously, when you are able to write all the possible context, you will be able to draw coherence. Then icing on the cake. This is another important fact, and this is most important component. Do you have some good quote, or do you have some good kind of anecdote? Anecdote is basically short story. Okay, in social media, when we'll be discussing social media essay, I'll be telling you various kinds of short stories to be mentioned in the introduction. So if you have this kind of cherry, which you can put on the cake, so go with this. So this is how, given these formulas, given these 5 points, you can identify which essay is best suited for you. Okay, so don't go with any myth. Rather, apply these kinds of formula, these kinds of points, and then you can easily shortlist. Yes, this essay suits my interest, and I'll be able to write it in the best manner. Then planning an essay. Now you have shifted from selection to essay planning. Up now you need to plan how to write an essay. So planning of essay needs one important thing, that is brainstorming. Brainstorming is very important component. Brainstorming should be done in rough work. It can be done in form of mind maps. It can be done in form of scattergrams. In Oxford style of essay writing, we say it scattergrams. So we will see what scattergram is. So basically, you should first give you should give first 5 minutes to selection of the topic. Okay, then after that you should write, or you should do scattergram technique. That means you should do a proper brainstorming with the help of scattergrams. What is scattergrams? Let us say topic is social media. So you can write social media in the middle of the page, and then you can draw various, you can put various points, whatever comes to your mind when I say social media. Okay, so current, historical, geographical, whatever comes to your mind. I'll show a scattergram right now. Then write every possibility that comes to your mind. You can use different pens just to identify which topic you're going to write in introduction, which topic you're going to write in your body part, which you are going to use as conclusion, what fact to be written, what fact to be presented where, and then ultimately you can create a scattergram like this. So this is what I say, scattergram techniques. Let us say topic is health. So through help of scattergrams, you can easily identify, or you can easily brainstorm, you can easily do the rough work. This rough work should be at the end of the note sheet. Let us say you can just reserve 2 papers at the end, and after before submitting the sheet, do cross it. Okay, cut it down, cross it down, so that, and write it down, this was used for rough work only. Okay, so that examiner should get to know, okay, this was the rough work, this is not the part of main essay. So this is what you need to do in the paper. So ultimately this is how a scattergram should look like when you are brainstorming, when you are doing rough work. Then after drawing scattergram, okay, now you are through with, you have selected the topic, now you are comfortable in that, you have drawn, you have done with, you are done with the scattergram, you are comfortable, now you have points to write, now you have basically parts to fill in the skeleton. So these are the body parts, and now you have to draw the skeleton. Now comes the skeleton. Of this skeleton, you can see can be divided into important components. So skeleton, if you will see over here, you should go with anecdote first, then introduce the topic, then historical approach, then current. In current you will write problems, you will write what has been achieved, prospects, then problems, and after writing problems, just a moment, then current problems, and then comes solutions. Or what you can do is you can put these solutions in way forward as well. Solutions can be put in way forward, and then ultimately a visionary note. So this is how you can plan a essay. So this is how skeleton can be filled. Now, given these points, you can easily put in this skeleton. This is clear. Now comes writing approach. Essay time management is very much important in essay. So you should divide your time. Let us say you have 180 minutes. Subtract 10 minutes as a buffer. You get 120, 160. Divide it into 80 minutes for each essay. 60 minutes should be put for writing. 20 minutes should be put for brainstorming. Okay, so this is what you need to do. You have to stick to this approach, because what usually happens, students focus too much upon their favorite essay. Let us say you are from geography background, you have a geography option, and section A had something from geography. You will invest 120 minutes in this essay. After 120 minutes, you have written the best possible essay. That means out of 125 marks, in any scenario, UPSC is not going to award you, in any given scenario, UPSC is not going to award you more than 70% marks. Okay, so in most of the scenario, if you will see, if you will calculate that, in most of the scenario, you are not going to you are not going to achieve, you are not going to achieve more than 85 marks. This is in the best possible scenario, which will not happen. Technically speaking, UPSC never awards you more than 60-65% marks. But this is the best possible scenario. You have got 85 marks. Then second essay, that was section B, was a blunder. Why? Because you had only, now you are left with only 60 minutes. In 60 minutes, you have to do brainstorming as well. You have to write 1000 words as well. This is not possible. You will do a blunder over here and you will get 40 marks. So 85 plus 40 is 125. Okay, this is the best possible scenario. In case if this goes into further blunder, you will not get more than 30-35 marks. So this is how you can see. In most of the scenario, you will not be able to get more than 120 marks. So that is why I always say stick to sectional approach. Divide your time properly, use it efficiently, and write prudently. This is what you need to do. First 10 minutes to choose the topic, okay? Then last 10 minutes to revise. So usually when I say revise, revising is a very important component. This I'll discuss in detail now. 8 and 9 pages for each essay, and now because UPSC has a printed notebook, so you have to be within the limits of writing an essay. Now comes the do's. What is to be done? So do's basically be concise, don't be wordy. So as I have already discussed, just stick to the important points. Do not focus too much upon one single approach. Students have habit of writing history. So for 3 pages they write the history of the topic. Okay. Then when it comes to solutions, they write in just half page. So this will not serve the purpose. When you will be concise, you will be able to take up all the dimensions. Be holistic, be coherent, be analytical, balanced presentation, innovation, and managing time between section A and B. These are the 6 important points of writing of the do's of essay paper. Then again, at last I say revise, revise, revise. Why revise? Look, now you will say that sir, there is no extra sheet provided, so revision will not serve the purpose. I understand. At our point of time, when we were writing in 2008, we had an option of we just had one essay for 3 hours, so we had the option of doing, you can say, experimentation in the paper. We used to ask for a copy, we used to write the essay, and after writing through 200-300 words, we were like short of words, and we were not in favor of writing that essay any further. So we used to switch the topic. We used to just cut it down, we used to cross it down, and then we used to shift to another topic. We used to ask for B copy, C copy. We had ample of experimentation time. Over here, you do not have. So what revision will do, or what you have to do in revision you just have to underline the important words. Okay, so just underline the important words. If examiner is short of time, he will able to go through these underlined words, and he will be able to understand the coherence or the structure. One. Another thing is, if there is some kind of silly mistake. Silly mistake is like when you are writing very fast over there, usually you miss the alphabets. Let us say I want to write the, I ate tea and it became he. So this he will change the whole purpose of the statement. Punctuation marks as and when required to be properly put, because that will basically make your essay worth reading. Okay, so these punctuation marks are important. So this is why I always say do revise. So revision basically helps you in correcting the silly mistakes which UPSC usually does not see, or UPSC does not usually witness. But let us say examiner is not in good mood, on that day. So try to avoid silly mistakes from your end. So if he'll take out those silly mistakes, he might feel bad. One thing. So that is why I always say revise, revise, revise. Another point why I always keep 10 minutes for revision. Let us say some blunder happened and you are writing very slow, or you are not able to produce or reproduce the kind of essay you want to do over there, and you are jotting down in a very slow manner. So it should not be like this, that the bell has rang and the invigilator is standing on your head and he's snatching the copy and you are writing the last paragraph. So you have crafted a beautiful essay up till body, and when a final paragraph was to be written, he snatched away your copy and the essay remained incomplete. So it is just like watching a movie without a climax, or with a pretty bad climax. Then you always think, why I wasted money on this movie. Okay, so this is what should not happen over there, because in UPSC there is no correction of mistake. There is always next year. Okay, so there is always reattempt if you have. So these are the things which are to be kept in mind. Then common mistake, the don'ts. Don't number one, no thorough, no vague language. Idea should be very clear. Okay, so try to write a clear idea, clear concept. I give you one example. There was one student who wanted. I gave an essay on on social media, I guess. Okay, it was on social media. So he wrote a full length story of justifying the use of social media. It was like this, that it was a thunder night and we were preparing to go for a wedding of my cousin. Suddenly the rain started and we could not book the cab. So because we could not make it to the wedding venue, my mother was very angry. She was very upset, and she basically didn't eat for that night, and she remained upset for 1 or 2 hours. Then I ultimately switched on the Facebook version, and I ultimately switched on the Facebook live mode, and my mother was able to see the wedding in a live mode, and she was very happy. What are you trying to portray? So you're just writing the problems. You're just writing the, you can say, unwanted part for 5 lines, 6 lines, and by that time the examiner will lose the sheen. He will lose the interest of your essay. Your essay will lose the sheen, and he will lose the interest in reading your essay, and he'll give you average marks. So try to write a very crystal clear idea. Then no faulty tone. You should not be judgmental in nature, because as I always say, you have no opinion as of now, and your opinions are not solicited. So don't judge anyone. No faulty impression, that you are not able to convey your thoughts. No faulty structure, introducing the topic after writing the solutions. So there has to be proper structure. Deviated thoughts. Usually what happens when you are writing an essay, you tend to deviate, because for 1 hour you are into writing process, and at that point of time your mind deviates. So I always recommend that try to read the question again. So try, make a habit that while writing an essay, you are reading the question again at least 3 times in the whole course of writing down. So deviation of thoughts is not is to be avoided. Then shorthand, informal words are to be avoided. Then spelling mistakes are not solicited. Usually UPSC doesn't go with this. They are not interested. They are not very much pro spelling mistakes. You can say they do not deduct marks, but it might happen if this is an excess. ठीक है, अगर बहुत excess में आपकी spelling mistakes हैं, तो there can be some kind of detrimental effect. Then no, not required. That is the myth booster. Sorry. So what kind of myth boost? Sorry, I'm so sorry. Myth busters. What kind of myth busters are required? Basically, you need to bust some kind of myth of this examination. So one thing is too much of headings. Usually students have tendency of writing heading every now and then. So they are writing heading for political issue, social issue, and then economic issue. These kinds of headings are not required. Try to present only important headings. Then use of diagrams. So use of diagrams is basically, as I am saying, as and when required it can be done. Otherwise it is not required. Length, completing the word limit. Usually students have habit of completing the full word limit. If there is what 1200 word essay, we will write 1200 word essay. Look, UPSC relies upon qualitative approach. It does not rely upon quantitative approach. They say this is the highest, this is the utmost word limit. You should not breach. That doesn't mean you should reach. Okay, so there is a difference. If you are completing a good essay in 1100 words, that is very much welcome. But that doesn't mean you are going to write a 600 word essay. So it has to be somewhere between 1050 to 1150. If this you have attained, things will be fine. Then Shashi Tharoor's vocabulary, no Tharoor is required over there. And let's summarize the good qualities of essay. Let's now summarize. So you will see relevance, then completeness. Essay topic should be, the content should be relevant, topic should be complete, it should be cohesive, it should be sustained, it should be well organized, it should be concise, it should be signposted. So these are important, and it should be explanatory in nature and ultimately fluent in writing. So these are important points which you should focus. And there are six important pieces of essay writing. So this you can write over somewhere, and this is very much helpful. Number one is proper selection of subject. If you have done it very right, battle is half won. Okay, so proper selection of subject is very much important. Then proper planning is there, proper proportion is there, presentation has to be there. So planning means doing right kind of you can say rough work. Proportion means giving exact words to the required component. Like history should not be in more than one page. Solutions need to be extensive in nature. Okay, so this is how social problems have to be extensive. Conclusion has to be extensive in nature. So this is how giving the exact proportion wherever it is required. Presentation again is very important in a structured manner. Perspicuity, that means lucidity of writing down, and then persuasiveness, that means you should be able to convince. If you are yourself confused in writing an essay, on one side you are saying yes, social media is bad, but I think social media is also good. Just think, you're not convinced as of now. So this is what is required, that convincing nature of essay is very much important, of written piece is very much important. So these are the 6 P's of essay writing. And as I've already discussed in the last slide, I would like to say that writing down is an essay or writing down something is very much important. You will not be able to sail through after watching my this 12-15 hours of essay writing program. You will not be able to write a good essay unless if you write to find out what you think. So this was a famous quote by Stephen King. So he was an English philosopher. So he used to say, "I write to find out what I think." So basically, whatever whatever you are contemplating, or you can say whatever knowledge you are gaining on day-to-day basis, at least try to jot it down in 100-200 words on daily basis. This should be your day-to-day approach, that you are writing down on a given point of topic. You can say, you can do one thing on, let us say, you can fix one time at the end of the day before going to bed. I'll write on this topic today. Okay, so write the topic women and write down whatever you have read in past or on the present day. So this is what comes with essays or essays also. If you are not writing down the essay, if you are not practicing the essay, you are not going to score good marks. Okay, so this is all for this session, and in next class we'll be discussing the goods, how to write an introduction, how to write a conclusion, how to write the body. So next class will again be writing down good introductions, what kind of introductions can be written, right? How good kinds of conclusion can be written. There are many styles of writing introduction in the market. Few says write like this, few says write like that. But I'll give you six, seven different introductions, and then you can, depending upon your writing strategy, depending upon your writing skills, you can produce and reproduce those kinds of introductions, or you can also innovate and invent your kind of essay writing. I always say, for essay writing there cannot be any straight jacket approach or one size fits all approach will not work over here. That topper has written in that format, you will also try to copy it. Topper must be in different frame of mind when he was writing. The examiner must be in different frame of mind when he was correcting. So you have to stick and you have to develop your own style of writing and stick to that and polish it. So this is how you can write the good essay, and you will be able to fetch 145 marks. So this is the duration of the classes. This is the whole schedule given over here. So this is how we'll be moving forward. We have discussed art and science of essay writing. We'll be adding one more class to this, and that is about introduction writing, body writing, and conclusion writing. Then we'll be moving to sectoral specific essays. Components will be there. Then writing socio-cultural themes, writing political themes, economic themes, philosophical themes, then current and miscellaneous themes. Then there will be another 3 focused essay writing classes. So that will be conducted on live in on some app. So over there I'll be giving you various kinds of topics, and you have to write it down. We'll have a one-on-one discussion, a live discussion, and then you'll be writing a full-fledged essay test. So there will be 5 tests before prelims and 3 tests will be after prelims, and that depends upon you also. If you are short of time, you can postpone these tests. I would suggest you to write at least 3 tests before prelims, and 5 tests can be shifted post prelims. So hopefully things are clear. In case if you have any doubt, you can ping me on this number. You can contact me on this number. You can also follow me on this Telegram channel, Kapil Live, and whenever you are buying this course from Orient IAS website, do use KS Live code. Over there you'll get 10% early bird discount. This is available for next few days. You can avail this. And in case you have any doubt, any confusion, any query, you can WhatsApp me on this number, Telegram me on this number. You can also call me on this number. So signing off from for today. See you all in next class. See you all in class. And till then, take care. Stay safe. All the best.